Hey everybody, Z Garcia here, and today I'm going to be taking a look at the latest expansion to Seven Wonders 2nd Edition. This is Seven Wonders Edifice. Now this here is a reissuing of the original Seven Wonders Babel, with some things removed and the things that are remaining retweaked, okay? The original Seven Wonders Babel for the first run of Seven Wonders, so 1st edition, came out with two things included. The Great Works, which is what this has become, and then Babel itself, which has been jettisoned and I'm assuming at this point will not be reprinted, okay? So this takes that sort of Great Wonders, Great Works idea and reworks it, tweaks it, changes it up a little bit, and repackages it as this Edifice right here. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at how this works. If you are not familiar with the original Babel, doesn't matter. This is very, very simple. So let me show you what this looks like on the table. We're going to be right back, and I'll give you some final thoughts. When setting up the game, adding the expansion is very easy. All you need to do is you're going to shuffle up the different projects per stage, and they have a number here letting you know stage 1, 2, and 3. You'll select one from each randomly, and then you'll put a number of these tokens on it based on what the rulebook tells you. So a game for 4 players, for example, there will be 3 on each, and this is what we're looking at here. And that's really it as far as setup for the expansion on top of the normal setup for the game. Of course, you've also got these tokens down here, which could be penalty points depending on how the game develops. So what do you do in the expansion? How does it change what's going on in the game? Well, the main thing is these projects here, and you are ideally contributing to those projects because you want a reward and or you want to avoid a penalty. So whenever a player develops one stage of their wonder, and this is a new wonder, by the way, which we'll talk about in 1 second here. So let's say I have this card here. I'm going to go ahead and develop a stage of this wonder. I'll slide it under this, pay my cost, develop my wonder. I have to have these, or I can buy them from my neighbors. But then if I want to, above and beyond developing that stage of my wonder, I can also contribute to the project here that corresponds to the age we're in, right? So if I want to, I would pay the cost. So I could do the 2 stone here and 2 gold, and then I claim one of these, and I'll put that in front of me. Whenever all of these are gone, if that happens, then this will immediately be completed, and everybody can only have one of these. Each player can only have one. So this player takes one, this player takes one. We will immediately flip that over, and this lets us know that each of these we have is 1 military point there. And then we'll do, the second stage when we get to the second stage of the deck. Same thing here. If it's a value like this, that means you'll get that immediately, okay? So again, once these are gone, everybody gets 7 gold for each of these that they have. But what happens if it doesn't get completed? Let's say during that second stage, this player made a level of their wonder and got one of those. This player contributed and got that. And I either didn't build a stage or didn't want to pay the extra amount of money. So this is still here. And the other player obviously didn't do it either. So what happens then instead is, right before we do the military conquest step of our cleanup there, before we go into the next stage, we see that if it didn't get completed, everybody that did not contribute is going to take a penalty. The players who have one, they're fine. If I don't have one, then I need to lose 5 coins. And if I cannot take the entire penalty, then I don't lose any of that, and instead I take this -3 here. So again, to reiterate that, let's say we get to that stage, the round is over, the second draft of the game is over, and I didn't contribute, that player didn't contribute, therefore there is 1 left there. Anyone who didn't contribute, both of us have to pay. They pay 5 gold. I only have 3 gold. I pay none of that and instead take this because I couldn't do the entire thing. All right. And then again, then the third step. So that's basically it. At the end of the game, these are going to be worth negative victory points. These might be worth points if the cards tell you they are. And that's going to do it. So you have here various different kinds. These are the stage 1s. And you'll get victory points for some of these. Victory points for every stage of your wonder that you've built. Some military tokens there. some resources. And again, over here, you might lose a card if you didn't contribute and it wasn't finished. Same thing there. And some stage 3s up here. All right. So pretty straightforward symbols. Something that is easy to decipher, but of course they do include a player aid in the game as well. So let's go ahead and talk about the 2 new wonders that they include. This one here, Carthage, is the easier of the 2, I would say. It simply has a stage on this side that you get to choose an effect for. So whenever you complete this one, you can say, okay, I'm doing this effect, or you can do this effect, and you'll slide a card underneath it on the one side or the other. On this side, you have a similar idea, but of course it is going to be 2 choices on each. So you can do this or that, okay? And then the other monument here, which you definitely have to do, the wonder. This one you have to, you may only use it, rather, when you are using this expansion, whereas Carthage you can just use if you'd like. This middle step here gets you one of those of the current stage when you did this, and then you are going to benefit from that possibly multiple times. So if I get one of these, which comes from the supply, by the way, not that board, and then I also contribute to it, I could possibly then get 14 coins, assuming that gets completed. So very interesting. And then on the other side, also very, very interesting, where you simply get one of each stage there. And again, this would be above and beyond any you would take from contributing to the project. So there we go. That is Edifice. And right away I will say I consider this to be the simplest of all of the expansions that have come out for this new run of 7 Wonders. 7 Wonders 2nd edition. This is the 4th expansion for this new cycle. And it is the cleanest and therefore, I would say, the easiest one to implement into the game. If you like 7 Wonders, you want to throw in a little something, you want to spice it up just a little bit, but you don't want to mess with the rules too much. You don't want to necessarily put something in that is going to pull focus from what you're used to doing. Then I think Edifice is a fantastic expansion for that. It is really going to give you, yes, a little something extra, a little something you can choose to work towards or not, and mostly continue doing the things you've been doing. And I think that's very well done. I like that in this one, the reworked one, all of the these projects you're working towards, you may contribute when you build up your wonder, and all the extra costs are in coins or in gold coins. Both of those things have been changed from the original Babel, and I think they are solid changes. For one thing, it keeps this expansion from sort of clashing with the previous expansion, Armada. They now sort of tackle different things and have different costs and activate at different times. But also, it just makes it very, very simple. I know exactly when I can contribute to one of these great works, and I know that it's going to be a little extra money on top of whatever I need to pay for. And that works for me. I really enjoy that. So yeah, this is a good one and a very simple one to implement. I like, again, that you don't need to go all in on this. If you don't contribute, you can very much stay competitive. And I like that the punishment, so to speak, for not contributing, if one of them wasn't completed and you didn't contribute, you'll take a penalty. I like that those things are manageable, largely. And then if you cannot do it, then you take some negative points. I like the way that that's handled as well. I will also say the 2 new wonders in here I think are excellent. I really like them. One of them you can just throw into your games no matter whether you're playing with this expansion or not. And the other one, of course, will require that you be playing with this expansion. But it's a really cool idea. The way it works, the fact that it gives you an extra one of those sort of buildings that you can take from these, making your reward even better if that thing gets completed. I really like that. So yeah, I think this is a solid expansion, and one that I could see myself, even because it's so small, so easy to throw in, I could see myself mixing this one in with, say, Leaders. I could do Leaders expansion and the Edifice expansion. And both of those are small, they're easy to manage, And I don't think that would create too much chaos for me. Now, the Armada expansion, I think that's a lot going on. I probably want to do that one on its own. But Edifice and Leaders, Edifice and Cities, that could work out well. So there you go, folks. For me, this is not my favorite of the expansions. In fact, that still goes to Leaders. But it's up there. This is going to get an 8 out of 10 from me, which is a seal of approval. I think it's what they've managed to do here by simplifying the original idea, streamlining, just giving you a new idea that shows up and goes, hey, here's something you can earn. If you don't contribute, here's something you might lose. But mostly, I'm going to stay out of the way. I like that this manages to feel that way. And it easily could be the first expansion I recommend if you don't want to shake up the entire works when you're looking for an expansion to Seven Wonders. So there you go, 8 out of 10 from me, folks. That is Seven Wonders Edifice. And that's going to do it. My name is Z Garcia. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you on the next one.